Good morning, y'all. Keith Dykes here with W.K.D Construction, and welcome to the channel. On today's video, we are going to get started installing the soffitting and prepping for the vertical board and bat siding here on the Melton Farm Project. If you're just now joining us here at the W.K.D Construction channel, thank you. And I'll go ahead and put a link right here. You can go ahead and go back to part one of the Melton Farm Project and just start watching from there, and you can see the process up to the point where we have now. The soffitting product and the siding product that we're going to use is it's made by, well, it's an LP product, but I'm guessing maybe painted, I don't know exactly the whole manufacturing process, with Diamond Kote. Diamond Kote is kind of the brand that I bought it through, but it is an LP product. So I'll have to do some reading on that. I don't know exactly how the manufacturing process works with those two companies. So I'll try to check on that and see. But it is a wood product. And like I said, we are going to be installing the soffit and a vertical board and bat siding, which the vertical board and bat is 16 inches wide. And then a bat that goes and covers up the gap between where the two pieces meet. So the Diamond Kote product has a 30-year no fade warranty. It's a beautiful product, very nice finish on it, and I'm pretty excited to use this. First time for me to install it, so I'm pretty excited about that. We will be starting with all the soffit and the fascia first. That way it gives your siding something to finish up against. So we do need to install all the soffit, all the fascia. We'll put the drip edge for the roof on there, get it all taped up, and we'll just go from there. I'll show you the process with it. First rule of thumb before you put up any type of solid soffit, be it like the LP, the wood, or a fiber cement, you need to make sure your soffitting is straight. There is no hiding it once you install this type of soffitting and fascia. We strung everything. We got our tail strung, then we strung our fascia to make sure everything is super straight, and now we're checking it again. We did have just a little sway in it, so we are fixing that. But as you can see, I've got solid blocking to fasten the soffitting to, and if you'd like to see how we do that, I will put a link up here and you can check out that video on how we blocked and prepped for the soffitting. Here is the fascia, which this is a ploughed fascia, which is pretty cool. I haven't seen that, especially in the fiber cement doesn't have this, but it's a ploughed fascia to where when we install the soffit, we will hang the soffit out past the fascia, and then your fascia sneaks right into that little rabbet joint there and keeps a consistent reveal on the bottom, so that's very nice. But very nice packaging on this stuff, super clean. 2 pieces per pack, styrofoam in between it, so they're really protecting that finish on there. Nice. So as I said, the soffitting will go on first. We'll probably just make a I don't know, we may string it, or we may just make a little gauge block to allow how much of the soffit we need to hang over. So I don't know exactly. We'll see here in a minute which process will work best for us. Probably on the gables we probably will string it, but on the flats we may just like I said, we just may use a gauge block. I don't know. So we're just tacking it up right now with the finish gun. We'll go back with a hot dipped full head maze nail, galvanized like what they want, but I don't want to nail it solid because once we install the fascia with the rabbet joint on it, I want to make sure it's pretty solid and be a little easier to get in if we don't fully nail it up tight to the bottom of the fascia right now. So we're going to caulk all of the butt joints. That way we can keep moisture out of there. Can't get in there, Woodby. So something we're gonna have to do a little different is on the corners. Since we've got that rabbet joint in there, it needs to be mitered. So all the corners will be mitered, 45'd and caulked that way. Because if we just let it square one side, you'd have that rabbet joint showing, and we don't want that. So we'll make a combination miter when this comes down into the plumb cut. So we set a string on the gable here. I think we're gonna put a gauge block up top, and then we'll run the soffit to the string. That way when we put the fascia on there, we for sure that thing will be straight, because this is hanging out. I got 3/8. It's hanging out just about a 1/16 inch more than the rabbet joint in the fascia. So that way it will be kind of cocked just barely. You won't ever know it, but that way will be straight as the string. Big fat bead. I give them a couple scrap pieces because we're dealing with that ploughed fascia, which has that rabbet joint. I give them a couple scrap pieces, put on the bottom and the top, and then we measure it. That way you could have a precise measurement, because you don't want to mess that board up. That board itself is $110 a piece. One board, 16 feet long. So no mistakes. No mistakes. Oh Lord. So here on the corner, since we have the ploughed, the rabbet joint, we are going to miter this corner that way, because if we didn't, you'd have, if you square cut it, you'd have a little joint in there that you'd see on the outside. So we went ahead and mitered the fascia to fit nice and tight, and then we had to cut this little piece out, this little overhang, to allow for the fascia to fit right on there. Beautiful. Guess we need to caulk that though. So on the all the all the butt joints, all the cut joints, instead of keep going, put more out there, we're using the caulking that the manufacturer recommended. That way it gets all those fibers sealed up. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Beautiful.
Get at the top, or?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be pulled a little bit. Well, hold on. This side needs to come in a little bit. Oh, yeah. Well, I just got to drive that one in right there. Don't nail that yet. So there it is. We'll get a little touch-up paint. The paint kind of flaked off right there, but we'll get the touch-up paint, and then we took some zip tape up top and ripped it in half just to seal this gap up in case we get rain. I don't want water to get down in behind there, so you can see the zip tape up there, bro. You ain't gonna get one person to carry some fiber cement like that. That would have broke into 22 pieces. So definitely cool. I mean, that's 16-foot long piece of soffit we put up in just a few minutes, versus if you were doing vinyl, you'd have to cut 1,000 pieces and take, you know, 10-15 minutes to put it up. So it's cool. It's a little quicker on some stuff. You got to be more particular, but once everything gets lined out, hey, it goes pretty quick. But it looks really good. It looks, you know, like an older home. And two, what I love about it is it does not wrinkle like coil stock does. If you're doing vinyl siding, you got to wrap your fascia with coil stock. The temperature is a huge factor. If it's cool in the morning, you put your metal on, the sun hits it, and you nail it too tight, it's going to wrinkle like hell. So this you know, wrinkling with this. So that is one thing I really love about a solid type fascia, be it a fiber cement or a wood product like this.
Long point?
Yeah. So with that ploughed fascia on there, it's really important, very critical that you get your plumb cuts cut perfectly. So I just took a couple pieces, put them on each side, and we had to cut them a couple times just to get them a half a degree or whatever to get them fitting really tight. Because, like I said, with the ploughed, with that rabbet joint in there, there's no forgiving. One side's either it needs to be right on, or the bottom will not line up at all.
Brent up there just rubbing his cock all over the place. Jeez. Can't take him anywhere.
So before we put the fascia on, we took the planer and planed the decking in line. That way once we install it, everything is flush, because this goes up and meets that. And then I took the fascia and ripped it on the table saw to match this pitch. That way once we put our drip edge or our eave starter on, everything is nice and in line. Put it on there, everything drains over nice and tight, no gaps, everything is good to go. You can see our soffit, it's full width, 16-inch, but I had some extra 2x showing right here, so I just took a piece of soffit, ripped it down so it would have overhang all the way around. And now I can use my trim pieces and use that rabbet joint to cover it up on my bird box. My take. Alright, on this front gable we got right here, I'm going to have a couple of pieces. This fascia is going to come set down on top of this fascia, and then we'll have a little piece. So I wanted to make sure that was waterproof, so we zip taped it, run it over onto the top of that. That way if water does get in there, it'll get out. It can get out in behind here. So on that spot where the fascia is going to sit on the other fascia, it's an 8/12 pitch, so I need an 8/12 seat cut, which I made a pattern, made sure it worked, and it does. So I'll just take it, put it on my fascia piece. Scribe it. And then grab the track saw. This is a must-have tool right here. Oh my goodness, it'd be so hard to make that cut. Trying to eyeball it. Precision cut right here. Beautiful. Nice cock. Beautiful. Tape it. Track saw is awesome. Like I said before, I didn't really expect to use it as much as I do, but dang it, as soon as I got it, I use it for everything, and it is a-okay. It is the thing. It is the cat's pecker, as I like to say. So, like building a custom house, I never build the same house twice, so everything is new. We've got to figure out which way to run what, and it's just a new challenge every home. Like this, we're going to put a beam, a big truss, a big Western rough sawn cedar truss in there. So my intention was to run the soffit in, and then once we put the beam in there, it'll go over the top of the soffit just a little bit and make that a nice clean transition between the soffit and the beam. And then on the other side, the inside of the ceiling, that will be a wood. That would be a 1x6 tongue and groove wood. So it would have a nice contrast between the white into the wood ceiling, and of course the truss. But I thought the bird box would look the best on this type roof right here, instead of just bringing the fly rafter down and then not having a bird box. I think the bird box actually kind of closes it off and kind of defines the gable a little bit better, in my opinion. So that's why I put a bird box on each side. Holy cow, it is hot and humid, but that's it, y'all. That's my video on how we installed this Diamond Kote soffit and fascia. But man, whew, take that off. It is warm. But like I said, this is the first time we've used the Diamond Kote fascia and soffit, and then like we are getting ready to start installing the board and bat, which you can kind of see it back there. And I'm digging the product. I'm liking it. It's easy to work with. Seems like the coating is holds up very well. I've had a couple places that kind of been exposed to the weather, and they really haven't swelled. They have not swelled. They have not swelled at all, or very little, to where some weather was on it, even though we had painted it. But overall, right now, it seems like a good product that I will use again. As you see behind me, we do have the standing seam metal roof. it's on, it's installed, and of course some of the board and bat siding is on. So we've got a lot going on that you need to come back and keep watching this series, man. This is going to be a really nice house. It's a pretty standard house in a lot of ways, but man, it is got upgrades galore. I mean, from foam insulation, all the standing seam metal roof, all of the Diamond Kote siding. So it's just got a lot of upgrades that some high-end homes have, but on a smaller, kind of more plain footprint is all. Once again, I am Keith Dykes. This was the Diamond Kote soffit and fascia installation. Thanks for watching, and as always, got it, coach. Man, I got to go get in the AC.